Hello everybody, welcome back to Fighting Crypto. So today I want to get straight to it. There's a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt about a lot of things in the crypto world. And right now, one of the big topics you will see just if you Google cryptocurrency, you hop on Twitter, X, or just flush around YouTube, is all about the presidential debate. So I just want to get in a little bit to what my thoughts, I guess maybe concerns or strategy is going to be depending on who actually wins office and does it actually matter. So as I about ready to get into this, please, if you find this interesting, you think it's fun, or you just want to pass it off to everybody else for the world to see, please click the subscribe button. It really does help out, as well as press the like button, ring the ding thing so that we can get notified when more videos come out. And I'm always interested in hearing more information from you guys about what's going on, what you think, what you want to hear. If you think I'm wrong with everything, please tell me. I'm always open to a fun little debate. So we don't know what's going to happen, right? I know that was the big, profound moment of the day, right? But in the long term, no matter who wins the U.S. presidential election, I don't think it's going to make a big difference. When I say long term in this case, I mean outside of the first 3 months, roughly, we'll call it February. Do the math. Maybe that's 4. Arbitrarily speaking, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Not for this bull run. If whoever becomes president pushes certain regulations, taxations, things like that, it will certainly could make a difference down the road. But I wouldn't expect it to affect this bull run all that much. So there's certain things I expect. I'm kind of planning for it. Is let's say the Democratic Party wins and Harris comes in. I'm expecting to see a pretty good drop the first couple of days in most crypto. I'll be watching my bags pretty closely if that's the case, and I'm going to keep a little extra powder, pretty much known as USDC, sitting there in my account to jump in if I see the coins that I'm going after drop down into certain levels. I do recommend that if you're looking at this as an approach, have in mind what those are. Set your limits in if you are comfortable doing so, or at least know or have in mind what it is that you're going to go for. Like for each of my coins, I already have written down, I think I have buy limits set for most of them, of where I want to hop in, and I have everything already set aside. But this is based on my belief that if she comes in, I think a lot of people are going to panic right away, thinking that, oh, the bull run is over, or this is not going to go well for crypto. And I expect there to be a decent sell-off. I'm not positive that's going to be just Bitcoin, all the altcoins and not Bitcoin. I don't know, but I'm going to keep it on track. I'm kind of expecting that to happen in general. Things go down for a little while. And then the FUD will change. We'll kind of see what it is that her and the rest of the Democratic Party says is going to happen, and people will respond to it. Because crypto is an emotional market. We want it to be based on logic, fact, and how good is the company, but really that has very little to do with it, specifically in the now. However, long term, meaning years down the road, that's where how good of a project really matters. So we're looking for the bull run right now. It's really not how good is the project, it's how people feel about the project. Get someone excited, say something that sounds like very good news, people will buy. Something comes out that sounds like bad news, people will sell. And I feel like if the Democratic nominee wins, I think a lot of people are going to see that as bad news and things are going to go down. I'll be ready to buy DCAN if that's the case. I do kind of expect the opposite to happen if Trump or the Republican Party will say wins into it. How I thought if Kamala wins, it's going to go down at first, stay there for a little bit, and some of those DCAs, everything comes back up and then normalizes in the bull run. I think the opposite would happen in this case. And I will be ready just in case to do the opposite, but this one's a little bit riskier if you want to follow through with this. And none of this, by the way, is financial advice. Even if I directly say, hey, I think you should do this, which I really can't imagine I'll say at any point, it's still not financial advice. At most, it's advice to something to think about. But if Trump wins, I think that at first, or it looks like he's going to win, again, emotion doesn't actually have to mean anything. I think prices are going to go up. And if that's the case, I might be a little bit more tempted to do some swing trades, because I do think that if he gets in, prices are going to go up. I'm more confident Bitcoin's going to go up pretty decently in this case. The other altcoins is more of what I'm speaking about. I think they're going to go up. and then after a few weeks or a month or three is going to come back down. However, it could be the catalyst to keep Bitcoin up. And if anyone who follows the bull cycles and the patterns that be, that might jumpstart the rest of the bull run anyway. So let me conglomerate this, because I think I'm going a little all over the place with this, is if Trump wins, I think all crypto, including Bitcoin, is going to come up. After a couple of weeks, I think it's going to come back down. So as I see things come up, I might swing trade one or two of my crypto coins. I would do ones I'm already swing trading a little bit. I would never change your strategy. I'll get more into this down the road, but I have a specific strategy for each coin that I own. Some I see as very likely long-term, like Quant. I have prices for it to get out, but they're pretty high prices because I believe that's going to be a great project down the road. I'm kind of looking at it as my Bitcoin, so to speak, but a storage of wealth down the road. I will sell it if it gets to certain points. But that one I'm kind of, if I don't sell it, I'm fine. I'll hodl that thing, not a problem. But I've done a lot of research. I'm very confident in that project. HBAR Hedera, it's similar, but I'd be willing to get rid of that one sooner because I do think it's going to come back down in a year or two and I'll rebuy. Render, I would not swing trade. If that one starts going up, I'm not confident it would come back down, and I don't want to miss out on that one. However, there's been some coins, Turbo, probably out of where I want to get for that one now, but Hashflow and Blast were three that I was doing swing tradings with, a lot of times in between the three of them, and that worked really well, and I might look at doing that if Trump wins. Again, if you're not familiar with swing trading, I'm not going to get into the details of it right now. It is risky, so know what the best and worst case scenario is if you do anything like that, and just be emotionally ready to deal with it. And if you don't think you'll be emotionally ready for it, then you probably shouldn't swing trade. But that's what I'm looking at that I would do if Trump wins, and I'll keep an eye on it as well. Going with the idea that either candidate, but I would expect to be more likely if the Republican side goes, of Bitcoin going up. Because we're all waiting for Bitcoin to hit very dominant in the market, at least like 60% Bitcoin dominance. And then statistically and pattern-wise, Ethereum goes up as Bitcoin starts coming down, and then some of the large caps, Solana, Quant, everything really over 2 billion market cap roughly comes up. And then they go down, all the smaller altcoins go up, and then it all goes down. We're in a bear market, and everybody's either happy or miserable because they gained or lost millions of dollars. It's going to be an exciting time. We're waiting for the catalyst of Bitcoin to really go up to hit all-time highs again. And the presidential election might do it. I know there's a lot of people who are kind of banking on the election being one of the major catalysts. A lot of it, in my opinion, depends on who wins and what are they saying closer to time or as they win. If either candidate wins, one of them's certainly going to win. When either candidate wins, if they go out there and in their first opening thank you speech or tweet it the next day, anything about crypto, it's going to go up. The impact might be slightly higher if Trump gets it. But Kamala's been talking about how XRP has been a larger donation, and she's trying to get a little bit of foothold in that world with crypto through them. But we'll end up seeing. It'll also depend a lot of what goes on with the other part of politics. Like there's a lot going on with taxation changes in the UK with crypto, which doesn't affect us here in the US directly. But you might want to get a little bit of an idea of what's going on with it, because indirectly it will affect us. You might just not notice it. Meaning the UK is a large part of the crypto world. And if they have to change as a general population the way that they buy and sell crypto, it could affect some of the bags that we hold over here. Just like a lot of Brits are keeping an eye on the presidential election because they know that it could affect them. So if you haven't looked into what's going on with some of the new taxation regulations on that side, read on a little bit. It won't directly affect you with taxes over here, but still good for you to know. At least that's my opinion. Some other things that might matter, kind of related to the presidential election, is our good old friend Gary Gensler. If you don't know who he is, I will keep my opinions very PG-13 about it, but he is the head of the SEC. kind of been notorious and infamous for going after a bunch of cryptocurrencies, of suing them, trying to prove whether or not they're, well, what they are exactly in the tax world. And SEC's lost every single time, which is kind of nice to see, but they're doing it for a reason. I don't think they expect to win. It's a stalling mechanism. But it was announced before. It's kind of been retracted. But if the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, gets in, she mentioned before about making him Secretary of Treasurer. I don't actually know if that's going to be good or bad if that happens. Because it would have him out of the SEC, but it's not like he still wouldn't have an influence on it, and it's who they bring back in the SEC. But that's all. Again, all this is speculative. But I'll certainly be keeping an eye on that. And then we have the exact opposite, where instead of getting I think it's a promotion. I don't actually know where that lines up, head of SEC to Secretary of Treasury. I think I'd prefer the Treasury role. I'll call it a promotion. So you either get promoted, or Donald Trump said that he might fire him on day one, almost minute one, wake up, stretch, scratch your butt, and then fire Gary Gensler. I personally am not against this, mostly just because he has been a huge nuisance in growing cryptocurrencies. But those are the kind of things that could make a larger difference, moderate to long term, after the presidential election. I really don't think who gets in is going to make a difference overall in this bull run. But I do think it'll make an impact the first couple of months that they're in office, really before they even get sworn into office. And then their second year and beyond, then it could make an impact. So definitely keep up on it, even if you're not into politics or if you're not registered to vote, don't plan on voting. If you have any interest in crypto, I do think you should keep an eye on just what are they, each candidate, talking about doing, so you have an idea of what might happen when either one of them gets in office. So that's my not financial advice, is look into the presidential candidate's thoughts, what you think are going to happen. I already told you mine. But feel free to agree or argue with as many adjectives as you want down in the comments below. Again, if you found this entertaining or useful, please press the subscribe button, ring the ding thing, and press the like. It really does help me out. I'm still trying to grow this channel, see how everything goes. And it just makes me feel good. I appreciate it, especially if I can make you guys feel good or smile a little bit about it. But at this point, I'm going to start rambling more than I already have. So thank you for listening. I'm out.